everybody, it's Lynn from Lynn's Crafts Designs. So pretty. A little bit of metallic leafing under the resin right there. And just, the metallic waxes. Alright. So, when I did this, they still haven't been spray cleared, sorry. That's why glitter. Y'all know, though, I'm a glitter nut, so it's okay. So I mentioned doing Mardi Gras colors. I was already too late for Mardi Gras, but the colors sounded pretty. I absolutely adore this. So, the heart-shaped glitters. It's a heart-shaped, in this case, silver glitter. I used some tiny little 4-point stars in the gold. And then I believe I did a little bit of the purple opaline flakes. Thank you. And then again with the metallic wax. Oh, so pretty. I never would have believed that I was a yellow girl. I love that yellow alcohol ink. I don't really care for it when it mixes with the purple, but hey, it is what it is. So, today, oh goodness. I can't stop myself. Once I get started on an idea and I really like it, I'm gonna go with it till it's exhausted. Okay, so let me start early. I wanted this to be spring colors. But unfortunately, I don't have any pastel alcohol inks. Of course, I could mix alcohol ink with white, but I don't want to. This is what happens. I even let the alcohol dry in between. But that pink is so strong. It's watermelon red, but it is pink, especially when it mixes with white, because red and white make pink. But the blue is gorgeous, again with the little stars. This one over here, it even bled so bad, it bled into purple. Alright. Spring. Purple, pink, and blue, I believe. Yeah, okay. Mother's Day. Once again, no pastel colors. But, that being said, I actually did find some. I just haven't ordered them yet. I found some on Amazon. Oh my gosh. I want them so bad. I found that, and I found another set of metallic colors. alcohol inks, but this time they're colors, not just the neutrals. Oh, I want. My husband says, I say that all the time. I want. So this morning before he left, he said, I want some water. I was out of water. And if you live in Alvord, you do not drink the water. It's nasty. Not nasty, it just tastes nasty. It tastes salty. Okay, so I've babbled on enough. What my plan is, I want to do 3 different finishes, if you want to call it that. On this one, I'm going to use Swellegant. And the reason I'm going to use Swellegant is because I want these stars to be rusty. So I'm going to use Swellegant. I'm going to use the Swellegant Rust Patina on these. And I think I'm going to do this copper and do a copper patina. Okay, then this one, I'm gonna just do acrylic paint. I know, shocking, right? This one I'm gonna do acrylic paint. And then this one, I'm gonna do the metallic waxes. Okay? Okay. I'll finish getting set up. And I'll be back. This is gonna be so fun. Okay. Okay, sorry about this. I've got these hanging on my swing arm right here, so they may be casting some weird shadows. A bit about Swellegant. I don't have all my colors out here, obviously, but a Swellegant is a metal coating system. I have actually been using it for years. I will try to link a playlist. This is my original copper. It has done some oxidizing in the bottle. But hopefully we're still going to get some good results. Anyway, metal coatings with patina reactors. This is the copper, as I said. This is the Tiffany green / rust reactor. It does a 2-fold service. Alright, so it will Tiffany green the copper, but it will also rust the iron. This is the iron. Okay, the copper has actual particles of copper in it. When you paint it on, while it's still wet, you will use the patina activator, and it will literally patina it. The rust is, obviously, the rust. The iron is obviously ground up particles of iron. Again, while wet, the rust reactor will do the most gorgeous things imaginable. It will literally bloom the rust. Sorry, this is just a brown beer bottle and polymer clay with the Swellegant iron and rust patina. I'm not kidding. It feels, yes it does. but it's literally rusted. So, yeah, so many possibilities with this stuff, literally. I have one of my favorite pieces is a goddess piece that is just gears and rust. She's so pretty. Okay, so, I'm sorry, I'm rambling on. This is the little bit last of my Tiffany green rust from the first batch. Christy gives them in these wonderful bags that have the 2-level tab. I don't know how to describe it, but... And I still have a hard time opening it. Okay. Okay, also, do as I say, not as I do. Do not use your best brushes for swelleganting. You want crappy, not crappy, but you want ones that are on their way out. What I do, throw them all out already? No. You want this, not this. This. Because this is what's going to happen to it either way. Alright, so. Shaking the copper. Wow. Okay. Again, do as I say, not as I do. Because even I'm not going to do it. I'm terrible about just painting out of the lid. Painting out of the lid, you will contaminate your whole bottle of paint. And believe me, that's what I've done. Oh, I have this one. I want this one. Okay. As you can probably already tell, this copper is not very metallic, and the reason that is because I have contaminated the bottle. But it should be okay for the look I'm going for. Look I'm going for, which involves not painting on the plastic. Okay, again, this is paper clay, and it's also down to the very end of that package of paper clay. So it's really getting dry. Y'all didn't just see that, right? I literally almost dumped that whole thing. I've got a This is a natural sea sponge. And yes, Christy sells them on her site. Ignore the shape of my cups. Sponge, patina. Now, it won't matter if the patina gets on the plastic. It's gonna do what it's gonna do. It's just gonna run off. Okay. I'm gonna leave that right there. Clean up my little bit of spilled patina there. I'll leave y'all watching just for a second, and then I will fast forward a bit. You can see where it already darkened the patina. Now, on Christy's video, she does heat dry some of these, and it still works. But because of the contamination problem with my copper, I'm just gonna let this go naturally. So I'm gonna pause y'all and be back, and we'll see. It doesn't take long. We'll be back. Okay, when I said it doesn't take long, I literally just turned the camera off, and you can already see the greening. It's gonna be pretty. Okay, but I'm gonna let this finish before I start on the iron with the rust. Actually, first, I'm gonna flip it over and do the other face, but I'm gonna let this go first. Okay, one of the other products that Christy has is these dye oxides. This one is a Caribbean blue dioxide. So, very carefully, I will put this off my silicone mat to the side. Okay? And then I will grab a Q-tip, because it's just gonna be thrown away. And then I will get a very little bit. And while the patina is still wet, just gonna hit the areas that are the greenest. I don't know why my voice is breaking so bad. Okay. Okay. Don't touch anything with the end of the stick. Just like alcohol ink, it will crumble little bits of dye. Okay? And then I'm going to choose This one is the white. Sorry about all the bags. But if you've ever had any spillage, you'll understand. Okay. Shake again. Lightly. Very lightly. Or you'll get too much. No, stomach, it is not. Okay, you're allowed to growl for oatmeal time, that is all. Okay, I could have shook the white a little bit more, but that is more the coverage that I wanted. I'm gonna throw this away because I can't even set it down. Okay, so we're just gonna let this continue. It's blooming and drying, which again, this has been literally 5 minutes since I did it. Okay, that's 5 minutes. Yeah. So, maybe another. I'll go ahead and give it 20 more minutes just to be sure that it's dry. Because I don't want to flip it over and it not be dry. But, not done yet. I'll let it dry, and then we'll put some of the sealer over the top, and then I can come back with the copper again and bring out some of the detail in her face. Alright. On the stars, I'm not meaning to necessarily cover the whole thing. In other words, I'm not worried about getting down in the depths of that hole. Just hitting the high points and trying not to get it all over myself. Okay, I'm gonna just do this side. Then after I patina it, I will come back and do the other side. I'm gonna actually touch. Right there. Because I picked off too much paint. Okay. Now, when doing the rust, it will take longer. It just does. One of the tips that Christy herself this wet napkin. I'm gonna unfold it and I'm gonna make a little cocoon. I'm even gonna dab some more on the napkin. I make a little cocoon for it to humidify, so to speak. Think of it as a cigar humidor. Okay, we're just making the right environment for that rust to bloom. Okay, so I'm gonna 30 minutes or so, and then I'm gonna check back. Okay, it's only been about 10 minutes, but I'm gonna add a tiny bit of this orange. As you can see, you can barely start to see where the rust has begun to bloom. Barely. Again, it does take longer. It is a longer process. Again, I'm going to go with, that was the tangerine orange. This is the sun yellow. I shook them both first. Not overly vigorously. And I just flooded the whole thing with yellow. Including me. Darn it. I was really trying to keep this matte, silicone matte, clean. But I knew it does not. Hooray. Oh. My cocoon. Okay, I'm going to cover this back up. Where the yellow went, it's not too bad a thing, actually. Okay. I want to cocoon it, but I don't really want to cocoon the faces, so. Okay. And yes, be careful because it will rust the hook where it pokes through the, it's got a rubber casing on it, but it will rust the end of the wire that sticks out. Okay, now, got that back down pretty good. Okay, again, I'm just gonna let this bloom, cure, dry, set up something. But first, oh my goodness, alright. Okay, now I've rinsed out all of my cups and rinsed out my sponge. I bought a package. There's like 5 pieces in a package. I cut one of the pieces in half. This is still the first half. I just keep rinsing it out and using it over and over again. So, I'm going to set this aside and let it continue to bloom. We will come back and revisit it. Okay? Okay, now I'm gonna do, just for the sake of ease, I'm gonna do the wax one now. This one presented me with quite a few problems, but luckily, this is the newer, I think it was the last release, not sure, don't quote me on that. But it is the pearl, the white pearl. Lordy. Find. Okay. Terrible, terrible palette, but still. It's hard to squeeze. Not hard to squeeze because of the wax, but hard to squeeze because of the metal too. Okay. Now, I want a base coat of this pearl white over everything. Okay? Very little on my finger. Just a dry, sweeping motion. Okay, but one of the things that a lot of people don't talk about when it comes to the waxes, you want to sweep, a little too much, you want to sweep both directions, or all directions, however you want to say that. Keep your finger flat. Don't look at the patina under my nails. Yes, I know I should have worn gloves. Not that there's necessarily any safety factor, but for the messy factor. Okay? Now, I'm going to do the whole thing with this base coat of white pearl that I'm going to show. Okay, this is the Royal Robes, which is a little bit more purpley. This is the Blue Velvet, which, like it sounds, is a little bit more blue, but it is a purpley blue. And both of these are Opal Magics. The Opal Magic line is of course designed to go on black. That's how it shows up. If you put it on white, it's really just going to give you a pearly with a tiny, tiny touch of the iridescent flash. It will be there, but it'll be slight. Alright. Finger. Anyway, this is a translucent wax with a crystalline iridescent color. In this case, a purpley blue. Just gonna hit the wings. Ooh. Okay, I hope you can see that. Now, if I had not put the white pearl, it would show a dramatic difference. Put it cross-handed for me. Once again, sorry about the left-handedness, but it's the only one with the shorter nail. Okay? Those of you who have followed me for years know I have the world's nastiest towel to the side that I wipe my finger on when I'm doing the wax. It's a stiff, rough, man, it is nasty by now, but it's just got products on it, paint. Matte medium, oh lordy. You do not want matte medium on you. Okay. Alright. That's weird. It was not actually my intent to do all Opal Magics today, but this one is the vintage silk, which was by far the most popular. And I think you'll see why. It's, and once again, it's a translucent wax with a champagne gold. Oh, so beautiful. Now with this one, literally just okay. Now, last but not least, don't worry, we're still going to get back to the other two. This is Deco Art Dazzling Metallics. This one is the Mink Pearl. This one, same thing, is the Oyster Pearl. Kind of the same idea. That one is the White Pearl kind of look. And then this one is folk art, but it is champagne. Okay. I'm gonna get my palette back out that still has the metallic wax on it. Okay, let's see. I'm actually gonna do this Mink Pearl first. pretty. Oh, the wind is really whipping out there. Okay, again, I'm just getting my gnarly, nasty paintbrush because all I want to do is get a little. Okay. All I did was kind of thin it down on my, just so that when I dip, I'm not dipping the whole tip of my finger in there. Same idea. Now, of course, it won't go near as far. You'll have to re-dip. That's just because acrylic paint dries literally so fast when it's this thin. These little cherubs, their poor little faces are so deformed. But hey, it doesn't matter. Did get it a bit heavy right there, but I like that look. Does help to bring out the shape of the dress there a little bit. Alright. Yeah, you can't grab it by the hanger when it's not on there, huh? Boy, they all three have a very similar look, don't they? Alright, so I'm going to let this dry. Then I'm going to dig around in the box. See if I can find something that contrasts quite a bit. That doesn't clash with this not pastel spring color. Okay, let's try these. This is the Deco Art Dazzling Metallics. This one is the Emperor's Gold. And this one is the Bronze. Love that. So pretty. Oh, thought I was gonna have to get the pliers again, didn't ya? I don't want to pour it out necessarily. Because I tried that a while ago and that didn't work so well. Because that champagne color was thin. Okay, now let's try that. Oh yeah. Okay, now just a bit here and there. Okay. Now then. Let's just say not handy. Again, I just want a tiny bit on her skirt. Yep. Every time I say on her hair, I get her face. Okay. Okay. See what I mean? That champagne was running. Okay. Oh yeah, that looks much nicer. Like I said, don't worry about the fingerprints and paint smudges on the plastic. We'll deal with that. Okay, now to check. Let's check the cocoons. Yes. Gorgeousness is happening, folks. Okay, yeah. We're going to do now this particular range was like 6 colors or something. I only got 4 of them, I think. I don't know, maybe I did get them all 6, but I got the last 2 in the tubes. Anyway, this is the old white. This is a matte wax. Same thing, is just as just as spreadable. I hesitate doing this every time because this wax is so soft. And you really won't even be able to Okay, sorry about that. I've kind of changed my mind here. Because that sealer, which is the Swellegant sealer, but because it does leave a kind of, not a shiny finish, not anything like that, but a kind of a, not really even a semi-gloss. It just leaves a different finish than what is on there. I don't want that. And of course I don't want it on the rust, because I want it to keep doing its thing. So I'm just going to put a little bit of the rich copper. And of course it will continue to patina right over this, but just for now, it'll give the look. Okay, oh, that is so nice. Just brings out those details. Okay, now I'm going to flip it over. Try not to touch it. Okay, I don't want this side to get too heavy. There we go. Oh, it's so pretty. Okay. Now, if you want to do a finishing touch, you can, of course, go around, take a Q-tip with, I've got 91% alcohol over there, and just go along the edges and clean up all this stuff. And then with, this is just Aleene's Tacky Glue in a precision tip bottle, and I'd go right around and do just the lower edge of everything and put some chunky glitter. Oh, that would really sparkle it up a bit. Kind of like we did here. Alright, okay, so 3 different acrylic paint, Swellegant, and just a tiny touch of metallic wax at the end, and then metallic waxes and a little matte wax at the end. I don't know if you can tell, but that metallic does still sparkle through there just a bit. You can see it every now and again. Again, I don't know if on camera y'all can, but... And I could go back and highlight it a bit if I wanted. Okay, 3 different techniques. 3 different finishes. Spring, Mother's Day, 4th of July. Just love how this turned out. The rusty stars for the trouble the last couple of years have been. This, in combination with the other side, kind of reminds me of the Statue of Liberty. So she's surrounded by rusty stars, but they still surround her. Alright. I love that blue. It's so pretty. Alright, thank y'all so much for watching. I don't know what links I could leave below. Some links to the glitter, maybe. The molds, most of them are so old.